We are the creators empowering the future of visual and sound design through advanced technology and community relationships that foster unlimited growth for future generations to come. We are IAXISRADIO, the future of radio and podcast. There is no limit to what we do. Design, create, and empower.
IAXISRADIO. You are now locked in.
Wake up to IAXISRADIO in the morning.
The future of radio and podcast.
Your number one station.
You are now locked in. The future of radio and podcast.
Behind the Enemy Lines is a podcast when we talk about relationships from the male's point of view. But we don't exclude the ladies. All right, so come to the front of the congregation. We're going to start some trouble.
IAXISRADIO.
You are watching IAXISRADIO and Podcast live. Welcome to our show. Now let's go.
Welcome back to IAXISRADIO. We've got a packed show today, diving deep into the future of creation.
Absolutely. It's all about pushing boundaries.
IAXISRADIO, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
IAXISRADIO, WIAX, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the X-Tremitiez ENT Talk Show on IAXISRADIO, going live worldwide. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to us on 365 Live on your WhatsApp, and that's right, you know we on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. Yes, even on the Apple TV, Roku TV, Fire Stick, legal, illegal, we got it just like Evel Knievel. That's right, my friends. We are going to shout everybody out that's live with us right now. I see people that are showing us love. Shout out to Edgar Vasquez. Shout out to Evelisa Arroyo. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in right now. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Please feel free to share the live because we got a great show today. We have two individuals that showed us love last week at the American Cancer Society 2026 kickoff. We are back at Orchard Beach. That's right. Before I continue to move forward, I got to bring on my special fly sidekick, that guy that hit you from the LES with them beats and them bongos and timbales, them trumpets and them horns. Straight look out the wall he has behind them, a true legend himself, DJ Marito CHICLANA.
What's going on? What's going on?
How you doing, mi santo? How's everything going?
Todo bien, todo bien. I'm supposed to speak Spanish. I always speak English. Pero está todo bien, gracias a Dios. A la gente que habla español. So, yo soy el español y él es el inglés.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just go into Thursday. Al, if you could just put up the pictures from the American Cancer Society event kickoff, where it shows how we kicked off 2026, showing that we are back at Orchard. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, October 25th. 7 a.m. Be there, where you'll see some of the survivors and board members and thrivers and caregivers like my friends there, Flora and her friends. You see me there, the white suit and the pink tie, looking like that 007 because I got a 38 waist, 889, right, for me, because you know I'm not 007. I'll be doing backflips and split my wig. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. But these ladies here don't need no wigs because they got the shine glow. Look at Flo. She can give you those moves. Then there's my brothers right there. Antonio Soto, Felons Unchained, a great person, a 501c3, and of course, my brother Derek, who is a breast cancer survivor. That's right, men do get breast cancer as well as he's a board member and he survived other types of cancers, and we are here to celebrate real men wear pink. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you see the living legend himself, Sal Abatello Fever Records. That's right, Crush Groove and all those moves that you see the movie. And of course, the queen herself, the one and only director of the East Coast, Rosemary. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody sees that guy right there standing at the podium looking like I belong in a WWE brother love type style. But you know me, I love you when I give you the news and everything you need. So don't feel blue because I bring it to you. Yes, indeed. From the BX, coming up from the sky down to the low because you know we represent the boogie down. So let's go. Now, going on next, you see after that, we attended another event. That's right. Shout out to my friends that we interviewed on our last show. Did they thing? That's right. This past Saturday, knuckle up. Yes, we have Mako-san and my brother, Felon Unchained Own, 501c3 again, Joey Love. They accompanied me at this event. You see our good friend Mark Rain there from Law and Order and Blue Bloods, who did his first film with Mako-san, and I MC the release of that film. That was over 10 years ago, and look at them reconnecting after over 10 years, and I made that happen at this event. Knuckle Up is a guns down, gloves up event. There is the creator, curator himself, my brother, childhood friend, Chase. Put a great event together, and, you know, there was a few fights there. There was a couple of belts that was exchanged. Remember, Al, last time I asked it, they had belts. They were like, nah, it's just, you know, signing contracts and people that, you know, get respect for each other. Well, guess what? There were several belts there that were exchanged that day, which I felt happy because it made me feel like, damn, they actually considered it to make the fighters feel like it was worth it. And these guys did their thing. Shout out to my boy Chase, Knuckle Up. They did a great thing in the community. It was overpacked. It was crazy. And it was phenomenal. All right, next, we're going to go right into the weather. As you see, the weather has taken a deep hit. Today was a low of 64, high of 80. Tomorrow's going to be a low of 63, a high of 78. Wednesday is going to be 64, a high of 81, partly sunny. Thursday, we are expecting about 65% chance of rain with a low of 69 and a high of 80. Friday, 60% chance of rain, 70%, and then 82 high. And then Saturday, it's cloudy, 67, 78. Sunday, it's a 35% chance of rain, 67, 79. Monday, 35% of rain, 70, 81. And Tuesday, 40% chance of rain, 67, 77. So we have a medium of about 82.3 degrees for the next 9 days, ladies and gentlemen, with a chance of 35 to 50% chance of rain with a proximity. So always carry a little umbrella if you have a little book bag or something, because you never know. If not, bring a poncho. It's always good to be safe because, you know, sometimes this could be like the Caribbean weather. It could be raining in one spot, sunny, and then the next spot, it will be tornado-like. And I don't know if you guys saw what happened last week on Thursday. The American Cat Society was expecting a lot more people, but when we looked at the news, we saw the next day that there were train stations that were flooded. There were highways that were flooded. The FDR, the Bronx River, the Course Bronx, the Palisades Parkway in New Jersey, the Long Island Railroad. A lot of people were stuck for hours. I had coworkers that were sitting with me today telling me in a class I was teaching, Trauma 101, shout out to VIP Community Services. You know, I was a co-curator, facilitator, and people were telling me on Thursday they felt traumatized because they were underground for 4 hours, scared, and they thought they were going to suffocate underneath a tunnel because it was hot, and all they saw was the tunnels were flooding with water. So, you know, people think they're going to get electrocuted, all kinds of things. So shout out to everybody that's doing their thing and planning ahead, and if not, always learn from these experiences. So, you know, always have a little safety kit. Take it with you. You never know. All right. And I want to shout out everybody that is supporting major events. Shout out to Boricua Posse. He had his 58th birthday party. He invited us, celebrated it at the War Room off of Castle Hill. And, you know, we got a great show today. We have someone that's going to be introducing work that he does with the youth. Galaxy Swimming, my good friend Terrence, who we met at the American Cancer Society kickoff. And after that, we sit down with the one and only representative of Throsneck. And this guy has been on both sides of the aisle, but this time around, he's representing the Republican Party. And I like this guy. And you know what? People say, damn, how are you going to say that? You're a Democrat. No, I get along with everybody. And when I talk about there are different types of Democrats and different types of Republicans, this guy's different. And you're going to see why, because he's from the hood and he's coming back and he's going to show you why he needs to make a change and why he will be that change. Only on the Extremities ENT Talk Show on our Access Radio. Let's go, Mario.
Bailadores, bailadores, quinto llego. Quinto viene arrollando. Quinto viene arrollando. Quinto viene arrollando. Quinto viene arrollando. El trombón dulce de Luis Eucalipto sigue gozando. Vino para tocarse la trompeta, Baltasar Herrera. ¡El sabor! ¡Sabrosura! Y ahora, el único pianista que toca con la barba. El gran Otto de Rojo. Quinto viene arrollando y el bombo de su sonando. Quinto viene arrollando y cargado repicando. ¡Excelente! ¡Cómetela! Quinto viene arrollando y se está tumbando. Quinto viene arrollando. Quinto viene arrollando.
We are going back to the studio in 2 seconds. Take it away, my man.
Welcome back to the X-Tremitiez ENT Talk Show. I'm your host, Jose Rivera, along with our greatest DJ all the way from the LES, DJ Marito Chiclana, and of course, the owner and producer of this show, Big Al Williams. Oh, shout out to my mom, my second mom, Laverne Som. Yes, Mom, it's you. I see you. Yes, I'm so happy. I make you proud. And, shout out to you. Shout out to my sister, Brandy. Shout out to my nieces, my nephews. Shout out to everybody in the family. She used to take me to Queens to watch WrestleMania and the basketball games and take us to the Shea Stadium. The first stadium I ever been to was Shea Stadium because of her. She used to take the whole block. We used to go to the chicken spot. She would buy us all chicken, and we would sneak the food into Shea Stadium. All these little kids, and she would have tickets. And my best friend Bruce. Thank you, Mom. So, damn, she always does that to me. So why is it supposed to be that type of show, Mom? I love you. So, crazy thing is that you're here to talk about this, and I told you when I was younger that I was scared of swimming. My best friend Bruce was there to save me when I was getting jumped and these kids try to drown me. My best friend Bruce used to save me from these kids, and I learned to swim at Mapes Pool. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to this individual here who I met at the American Cancer Society kickoff last Thursday. And when I met this guy, he has such a pure heart and soul that I felt, speaking to him was easy. Please allow me to introduce you to the one and only, born native of Staten Island, raised in the Boogie Down Bronx, and doing his work in Harlem, if I'm correct, helping the youth and educating them on the benefits of learning how to swim, as well as working with different organizations, and recently Lehman College, working on educating the youth on swimming. Please give it up for my good friend, Terrence Derrick.
Hey, hello. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you for coming on the show, and just please let the world know who you are, where you're from, and what inspired you to be doing what you do today.
Okay, so my name is Terrence Derrick. Born on Staten Island, but then I was raised in the Bronx. The Bronx has always been my home. I was living on St. Anne's actually. And I have a lot of good memories over here. But the reason why I'm the director of Galaxy Swimming is because kids of New York City need more. And it's not fair that children have to be exploited to use an affordable resource. Back when I was growing up, we had St. Mary's Pool. We had a Riverbank Park. We had Central Park Pool, right? So I was able to go swimming in all these different areas, but the climate of yesterday is not the climate of today. A lot of these kids can't travel from neighborhood to neighborhood. It's extremely dangerous, right? So because of these man-made borders, I would say, they cannot access the resources that's given to them. And one of the reasons why Galaxy Swimming is a thing is to give back to the community. More so, making sure that swimming is accessible to all, regardless of income status, regardless of class. And we strive for excellence at all times.
Thank you for giving a synopsis on what it is that you do, right? We were speaking about the first time we learned how to swim. And I truly enjoyed your tale because I too had a terrible experience as a child, 5-6-year-old. I told you with my so-called uncles that would throw me from one uncle to the next, 5-year-old kid, and they'd be drunk.
They used to do that
Saturday morning, and they'll just be like, "Kid, get out of here," and fling me to the next uncle, and fling me to the next uncle until it got deeper and deeper. It was like, "Nah, swim, kid." I mean, the water was to like their shoulders, but for me, I'm waist high to them, so it's like I'm drowning. But you had an interesting story in Orchard Beach as well. Tell your story.
Yeah. So I remember I was probably in 5th grade. It was low tide at Orchard Beach, so I was far off in the water. And as I remember, a current swept me off. I was just bobbing, just bobbing with my head in the water, and then the current swept me. And before I realized it, I was underwater, and I opened my eyes underwater, and I saw a cliff. And I thought I was gonna die. I saw the bubbles go in slow motion just rise to the top, and the water was green. And I told myself I didn't want to die here. So what I ended up doing was I clammed my hands like this, and I was just grabbing the water as if I was climbing up that ladder, just grabbing the water, just kept grabbing. And to the point when I finally surfaced and I swam. I swam all the way back to the beach to the point where my stomach was actually hitting the sand. I did not want to stand up until I knew I was safe.
And that's the experiences at your Orchard Beach, ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Riviera of the Bronx. So, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a synopsis of what it is Terrence does, he actually helps kids that don't have the resources to be able to learn and afford how to do the basic skills of a doggy paddle, right? Because I didn't learn. I learned at Mapes Pool with some lifeguards that actually liked me and said I was a crazy kid. They wanted me to live and not die. Just like Terrence said, he wanted to live. And what it does is he works with, the temperaments of different kids. Because I know you work with kids that are fearful of just even putting their feet in the water, right?
Yes.
So what, you convince them through what, like pre-education, or do you plan it out, or do you work with a certain type of child, or what is the process?
So the process for that would be, first things first, level 1, because there's 6 levels of swimming, right? But level 1 is more so water safety, right? Water safety and water confidence, right? Being able to feel confident in water is one step of the way. It's a major step, though. A lot of people who don't feel confident in the water, they will never actually learn how to swim because they're fearful of drowning. So, but usually, we make sure that the person feels comfortable floating, making sure that they feel comfortable gliding in the water, putting their head underwater, blowing bubbles under the water. As simple as these steps sound, these are core to actually learning how to swim.
Okay. So people don't understand that our bodies are naturally educated within the womb on how to breathe, right? And then we have to reteach ourselves how to do that when we're out the sac and we're in the developmental stages of growing up. I recently saw on CBS 2 News, I love my show, like I said, Jane Pauley on Sundays, which is very educational. They show kids babies that they would just have in a pool and learn how to swim on their own, on their back and flip over. Are you familiar with this exercise?
Yes, I am.
What is that called, and what is the purpose of that?
So I forgot the exact name of it, but the purpose of it is to make sure that the kid doesn't become afraid of water. Okay. Right? Because while the child is within the mother's stomach, the child is, engulfed in water. So they're always floating, they're always swimming, right? So the reason why they throw the kids in the water at infant is to make sure that the child just always remembers how to float. It's natural instinct for them.
Okay. And that's where you reintegrate to kids that are fearful on how to not be scared of water?
Exactly.
So is there like a certain, like you said, there are levels. Is there a time limit you have expectations for certain individuals, or do you have like a general plan?
So usually for the individuals who come swimming with us, everybody has their own plan. Everybody's journey is different. Some people, they skip levels and within a semester. A semester is usually 10 weeks. Some people, we've been teaching them how to swim for the past 2 years. And they have, the results vary on how much dedication they put into the craft, or how consistent they are with swimming. But typically within a 10-week period, you will see a 2-level jump.
Okay.
Typically, yeah.
So where are you located right now? Where do you practice out of?
So right now we are located in Harlem. We are located at 32 West 118th Street, and it's right between Lenox and Fifth Avenue. That's our home base. It's Millbank.
Millbank.
Mhm.
Okay. And you also have mentioned, you just recently completed something at Lehman College. Speak a little to that. What was that?
Yes. So this was a huge accomplishment. So as y'all know, I'm a native to the Bronx. And one of the things I always wanted to do was give back to the Bronx, right? I wanted to give back to the Bronx. So I found it possible to give back by, using affordable swimming to do that. For the past 2 years, Galaxy Swimming, we was looking for a space in the Bronx, and it was hard to find a space. But thank goodness our good friends at Lehman allowed us to do so. I thank them so much for that because they really worked with us, and we went over the price several times. It was like reiteration after reiteration. I was like, oh man, they're gonna ghost us. This is annoying. But like this summer, we was finally able to teach at Lehman College, even though it was for 8 weeks. But those 8 weeks was impactful. We was teaching from 10 to 5 o'clock on Thursdays, and we're actively working on our fall schedule right now at Lehman College.
Excellent. Let's go to the chat right quick. I see there's a lot of chatter there. We're going to go right to the top. We have, oh my God, it's Glow. Yes, I love Galaxy Swimming. It's awesome working there. Okay, you have an employee. You have Claire Soaring, my sis from the American Cancer Society. She's the manager there. That must be a Caribbean thing, but we're out in the beach in the Caribbean. Claire, I need to learn how to swim. Oh, come on, Claire. I know you know how to swim. Great information from Audrey Doroski and my sister, Ruthie DeClaire. Claire Soaring Eagle Francis. So do I. And then we have Ruthie says, thank you guys for joining. This means a lot. And then we also have Grandmaster 350. Amazing work. What a way to give back to the community. So now that you have seen so much of the feedback that you're getting, does this encourage you to want to continue to build on the mission that you have a foundation on? And where do you see yourself in your 5-year plan?
So within 5 years, Galaxy Swimming, we see ourselves in all 5 boroughs at the same time, and also in Mount Vernon and in Jersey, Newark, Jersey.
All right. So if anyone was interested on possibly looking more into your Harlem base, and if you are taking applicants, how could they go about that?
So they could go to galaxyswimmingllc.com. We're going to be the first thing that pops up right on Google.
So we want to shout out Yari Gutierrez as well, who hit us up from Florida, showing you love. She gave you a peace sign and a prayer because, you're making things happen for the community. And, being a young man, African American that's representing, you're committing something called history. And that's changing the lives of many individuals who you're saving lives. Because there's a statistical thing that's going on. Oh, hold on. Claire Soaring Eagle says, once the water hits my ears, panic mode. And I wasn't always like this. Started at 40. Explain that.
So I would say
I'm there too.
Older, we start to become more protective of ourselves, right? So if you have seen something on the news that had to deal that was around a water, like an accident surrounded by water or affiliated with water, that could do it. And just thinking about if every time you go into water, something might happen, that can cause a fear of that.
Right.
So I would say for you, just dip your toes in the water, one toe at a time, one leg at a time, and go at your pace. Your pace is what matters. It's not a race. Once you get reacclimated to the water, then try to swim, try to float. Because I know water can be scary. This is why we teach water safety. You know, it's critical, but be patient with yourself and be kind to yourself while swimming.
Wow, it sounds like you just gave a testament of life right there, man.
Tell me about it.
But we want to continue to say thank you to everybody that's in the chat right now, showing so much love to Terrence. Man, wow, the chat room is going crazy. We got Laverne again, Mom. She's saying, hi, Ruthie. That's wonderful thing. You're doing your thing, young man. And then you got Claire, bro, nope. I actually don't know how to swim. I'm assuming that's what she says. And you got Josie Bonilla saying awesome. So, and you also got Grandmaster 350. Well said, Terrence. All right. So, Terrence, any few last words you'd like to say? Oh, question right quick from Edgar Vasquez. Question, in the city of New York, there's some pools, but programs are very short and never get accomplished, even though people still try very hard to learn more.
Yes. So with that question, I do agree. I can't speak for other swim programs. I could just speak for ours. Ours, we have a dedicated 10-week swimming program. The swimming program happens once a week for 30 minutes. The reason being is 30 minutes is that when you're new to swimming, we don't want to scare you by overworking yourself. Let's say, for example, we have a 6-year-old. This 6-year-old likes to swim. They like the water, right? Swimming for an hour could be daunting. Imagine running for an hour. It's hard. So a half an hour is a sweet spot so that you have enough fun to want to come back, but then you also get a good exercise too. But with our program, also what we prioritize is quality over quantity. A lot of swim schools, they will have one instructor with 10 swimmers. Realistically, that one instructor is not going to be able to teach 10 swimmers at one time. So what ends up happening, 4 of them get left behind, and then those 4, what usually happens is those 4 is dissatisfied, and then they don't want to learn how to swim because they feel that it's a waste of time. With us, our ratio is 1 to 3, 1 instructor to 3 swimmers, so that everybody has a quality swim lesson.
Excellent, excellent. Please let everyone know where they could locate you in case they want to get in touch with you, and give them all your social media.
Yes. So all of our handles is Galaxy Swimming LLC. That's our Instagram, that's our website, and that's our TikTok too.
Okay, so as you see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, GalaxySwimmingLLC.com. It's the website, and for all the socials, it's Galaxy Swimming LLC. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here with my great friend Terrence Derrick. So please be sure to follow him as well. What is your personal page in case you like your followers to go up, if you have one?
Oh, sure. My personal page is the Exalted One. I don't post much there, but I'm gonna start.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We love to show you what they're doing right there. So the fall registration is now open, ladies and gentlemen. Make a splash with us. That's right. The semester classes. So as you can see, speak about that right quick.
Yes. So the new semester is coming up. This is going to be our fall semester. This is going to be in our Harlem location on 118th Street. So the first day of semester is going to start October 2nd. So please make sure you register. If you need any assistance, feel free to reach out to us.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short commercial break. Thank you to Terrence Derrick and for explaining Galaxy Swimming and what they do for the youth. And we're going to come back with our great friend and political representative that's about to show you why you should think about this guy. Only on X-Tremitiez ENT Talk Show on IAXIS Radio. Mario, let's go.
Let's do it.
razón. Evidentemente hay reunión en la cima hay reunión. Hay reunión en la cima hay reunión. Somos todos para uno, envolviéndose en un todo, con el deseo de expresar con humildad que sin mucho liderato y sin bombo ni platillo, y el sistema sencillo de cantar y de tocar al elemento que se puede poner a gozar. Ay, al elemento que se puede poner a gozar.
Saludos, Luti.
Hay reunión en la cima de la grandeza rítmica y musical, a las órdenes de ustedes, a sus pies. Evidentemente les saluda un amigo, Andy Montañez. Les saluda un amigo, Andy Montañez.
Hay reunión en la cima, dice Andy Montañez.
Es que hay reunión en la cima y yo lo comprobaré.
Hay reunión en la cima, dice Andy Montañez.
Que tú verás como gozo yo, que tú verás, tú vas a ver, tú vas a ver.
Hay reunión en la cima, dice Andy Montañez.
Que se reunieron los ibaritos para formar el bembé.
Hay reunión en la cima, dice Andy Montañez.
Porque hay reunión en la cima y yo te lo probaré.
Hay reunión en la cima, dice Andy Montañez.
Se ha inventado esta reunión con estilo y con caché.
Hay reunión en la cima, dice Andy
Tú verás,
Montañez.
tú verás como gozo yo. Tú verás que tú vas a ver.
Hay reunión en la cima, dice Andy Montañez.
Elías López me dijo a mí que formar este bembé.
De Nueva York. Saludo, Edgar. Thank you. We going back to the studio with my main man, Jose Rivera.
Welcome back to the X-Tremitiez ENT Talk Show. I'm your host, Jose Rivera, along with the greatest resident DJ, all the way from the LES, Marito Chiclana. And of course, the greatest owner, producer of this radio station, going live worldwide on this podcast, IAXISRADIO, Mr. Allen Williams. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with one of Throsneck. That's right. You heard me say it twice because they are nice. The representative out of the Northeast part himself, my brother, Diamond Hosnick for Congress. That's right, New York 14. My brother here is doing big things. He is the only smooth Albanian dude that could walk through the hood and everybody show him love. I've seen it myself. I've walked with him all the way through Little Italy, through Williamsbridge. He did his thing out there, Randall Projects. He brought out food. He had everybody hugging him. He was kissing babies. He was doing it all, baby. My brother here, Diamond, I met him at the Bronx Puerto Rican Day Parade. I was on stage and he was marching. And I announced him, and then I saw him at, shout out to Jimmy from Jimmy's Bronx Cafe at Sobro Garden. And he came up to me. He was like, hey, man, thank you, man. And I was like, for what? And he was like, you announced my name. And I love the way you announced it. You said it with this Latin flavor. And I was like, all right. And we started talking. And, you know, there was something different about this guy, man. Like, he didn't sound like a politician. He sounded like someone that was real down to earth. And then the more we spoke, the more I saw that, hey, maybe my whole perspective, you know, for the past 20 years has been different about party lines. He made me think differently. So please, ladies and gentlemen, turn it over to the man himself, my friend Diamond. What's going on?
How are you? Okay, good to see you.
You too, man.
Thanks for having me. I've been watching your show and good energy here.
Thank you, thank you. So please, like you heard me tell Terrence earlier, let the world know who you are, where you came from, and what inspired you to do what you do today.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here with your team. I loved your previous guest who was teaching people how to swim. I was a former lifeguard myself for 4 summers in a row as a teenager, so I love teaching kids and adults, which we taught kids how to swim and protecting them, and it was one of the best job I've ever had. So great work he's doing. I wish him continued success. My name is Diamant Husseini. I am running for New York's 14th Congressional District to replace the current representative, which is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Some of you know her as AOC. She's been there for about 7.5 years. And Jose, you and I are starting to build a relationship together. We actually first met at the karaoke place.
Oh, right. Yes.
At the Puerto Rican Day Parade karaoke.
Yes.
It was on East Tremont. That's where we had first met. But we've seen each other so many times, so it's easy to confuse.
Yes.
Yeah, and in Throgs Neck is where our campaign headquarters are, at 3707 East Tremont. That's my campaign office. The district actually is right here where we are now. It's South Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Parkchester, you have South Bronx, Castle Hill, Soundview, Parkchester, Pelham Bay, parts of Morris Park, Country Club, Throgs Neck, and then it goes over the river into Queens, which is Astoria, and you have Jackson Heights, College Point, parts of Corona, and East Elmhurst.
So you would see all that.
Correct. So
all those districts.
That entire area is part of the New York 14th Congressional District.
Okay.
Which the current representative is AOC.
Right.
It's about 720,000+ constituents that live in this district.
Okay.
So it's a big district, and it's kind of weird how they set it up, because what does Soundview have to do with Astoria? And the same representative represents both. My story is a little unique because I wasn't born here. I was born in Kosovo in a farm. I was raised around chicken, horses, cows, big family. I came to this. My father had come to the States in 1988, and our family first started right here on Willis Avenue. And then we moved a little further up to right off of Fordham Road on Davidson Avenue. And then after that, we moved a little further up to the south side of Yonkers, New York, on right the first street in Yonkers on Carroll Avenue. So we've moved around a lot, but I've lived in this area for the last 35 years. I came in 91 as an immigrant. I didn't know where America was on a map. I was a little kid growing up in a farm. But socialism and communism was taking over my country, and it was getting really bad. My father saw the writing on the walls, and he came here. And then my uncle came in 86. He actually slept in park benches in the South Bronx for a whole week because we had no connections. We did not know anybody here. And then he brought my dad in 88. I came in 91 with my mom and my sister, who was a year older. So from the age of 6.5 to about 9, I didn't even see my old man because he was here. I came in 91, at the era of the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bulls. So I was a hybrid candidate. I liked the Bulls and the Knicks. New York. When I was at games, I used to have to hate the Bulls because everybody in New York did, but I really liked Jordan, so it was tough. I was a paper boy. I started out as a paper boy in the neighborhood. I worked in the local bodega, bagging groceries, delivering papers, shoveling snow. Then when I got to high school, I got my working papers at an early age, so I started a lifeguard in the summers, and I've done a lot of loose ends and jobs. I did not go to a 4-year college. I had a full ride to go to NYT, and I decided not to because I just didn't like college. I got a 2-year degree because my father said, you must get some college or I'm going to throw you out. So I finished a 2-year degree, associate's degree in Westchester Community College. And 22 years ago, I started my construction business. And I started as an apprentice. I was pretty much groomed in construction because my father was in it, my uncle was in it, all my friends were in it, my family. So I became really good at what I did. I started my company 22 years ago. During the 2008 financial crisis, we lost the company, we had to short sell our house, and we lost everything. So I was working 3 jobs. I was driving cars at night for people to take them places. I was doing construction gigs on the weekend, and I was doing sales during the day. And then 2014, I opened up my construction company again, DCG New York, and we've done about 20 ground-up buildings, almost 1,000 apartment renovations, restaurants, and I became a black belt in construction. So that's what I've been doing for the last 22 years. I have a wife at home, Teresa, my beautiful wife. I have 2 young kids at home, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. And we're raising a family here in New York and making life happen. We came from very humble beginnings. We were dirt poor when we first started here. We didn't have any social programs, no welfare, no language. We didn't speak anything. So Albanian wasn't a big thing here back then. Now you got Albanians everywhere. When I came, they were like, "What? You're from Albany?" I'm like, no, I'm Albanian. It's not from Albany. So life's been a big up and down roller coaster ride, and I couldn't be more grateful for the experiences I had here in New York. And now I'm running for U.S. Congress because we need a representative who represents people that come from the struggle, who actually live the life. You know, if half the district is immigrants like myself, 50%, and the other 50% is also Hispanic. So when I meet people on the street, I never tell them, "Hi, I'm a Republican." I tell them, "Hi, my name is Diamante." Or if it's a Hispanic person, "Hola, mi nombre es Diamante. Yo hablo español, pero no mucho, poquito." And let's get to English so we can continue. But we kind of just talk about life and what's important to people and the community, how it's fallen behind. A lot of people seem to be making money, and a lot of people seem to be left behind. The Bronx is the poorest county in New York State. You know, we have 62 counties in the state. The Bronx is the poorest. It was the poorest when I got here in 91, and it's the poorest now in 2026. And we've had the same politicians. You know, the current congresswoman's been there almost 8 years. The person before her was there for 20 years. They've got a hold of state senate, state assembly, city council, mayor, governor. It's one party, so it's like eating the same thing every single day. And you kind of want to change it. It's not that bad of an idea to try something different and try something new. And because of my experiences in life, I've never been a victim. I didn't victimize myself. These were the cards that were dealt, and I had to do what I had to do with it. And the same as we see our politicians, growing up poor, you have to eat the same thing. You eat ramen noodles every day. You eat expired foods because you don't have the access that we have today, for example. I remember going to school dances and borrowing clothes from my friends because I had Payless shoes. Everybody had Jordans back then. So the struggle to get to where I'm at now, lived in the poorest neighborhoods. Now I could move to some of the better neighborhoods, which is nice. But I want to give back to the community that helped me so much when I first came here. You know, being a white immigrant in the South Bronx and South Side of Yonkers is not an easy thing to go through.
Right. So the question we have here today is,
sure,
were you always a Republican?
Great question, and no. And most New Yorkers are Democrat by default. They identify as Democrat because everybody's a Democrat, and so was I. Like, my dad is currently and still is a Democrat. He's a diehard Democrat. He came here. He just happened to like the Democratic Party, and we're in New York. So if the only restaurant available in your neighborhood is a pizza shop, you're probably going to eat a lot of pizza. The only politics around available here are Democrat politics. So I was a Democrat till probably around COVID. During COVID, I was pretty annoyed by the politics going on and the extreme left and the extreme right. And I find myself more than the Republican or a Democrat, an independent guy. Sometimes I agree with the Democrats. Sometimes I agree with the Republicans. Sometimes I think they're both crazy. But there's two teams you can play for. And the team I play for right now is the Republican Party because I think that they have the right message when it comes to people lifting themselves up from their bootstraps, working really hard, and not counting on the government to be bigger. We want lower taxes. You know, our taxes in New York State and New York City are 50+%. Running a small business, you're paying workers' comp, general liability, payroll tax, income tax for the federal, state tax, city tax, local taxes, and like you just don't stop paying taxes. And the Republican ideology, so make smaller government, lower taxes, and to incentivize people to work really hard.
So is that always the case?
No, it's not always the case. It depends. Like this neighborhood here, this district, New York 14, it's 6-1 Democrats. So 6 Democrats per 1 Republican. There's about 250,000 Democrats, 120,000 independents, and about 40,000 plus Republicans. And when we were looking to run in the race, all my consultants said, Diamant, the easy move is just run as a Democrat. You never were involved in politics. Nobody cares what party you were in. Just jump in the Democrat Party. That's the way to win. But they have went so far with their message that I won't be a good salesperson for them. It's not organic to me to sell those ideology. So I had to choose which team, and I got recruited by the Republican Party, if you will. I still meet tons of Democrats who want me to be a Democrat and want me to run a Democrat platform, but it doesn't jive with me right now. And I'm Diamant for life, and whichever party makes more sense, I'm down. They don't own me. Either party doesn't own me. I'm an independent guy, so I make my own decisions.
So what's the difference? Because the last several leaders, such as Mike Bloomberg, right? As soon as 9/11 happened, he told Giuliani, you got to get out. Giuliani said, can I get a week extension because of everything? I'm going to help everybody transition. He was like, no, get out. It's time to get the business. Bootstraps, like you said. We're going to do this our way. Then Trump, before Trump is who he is now, he did things on an independent level, just like Bloomberg. Is it because they hit a certain status that they are forced to go with the Republican Party for classation? Or is it because that's where the money pushes them to go?
That's a great question. It depends where you're looking at it. You've got some neighborhoods in the country that are very low scale in terms of income, and they tend to be Republican or conservative. And you got places that are very high scale that tend to be liberal and democratic, like the richest county in New York, Manhattan, or Nassau County, or Westchester County. These are stronghold Democrat places, and majority of the people there are wealthy. So I don't know.
Yeah, but the highest taxes.
Say that again?
The highest taxes, like Westchester County taxes, Rockland County taxes, Long Island taxes are crazy.
But not as crazy as New York City in some ways, because you have your property taxes will be higher, right? So if you live in Westchester County in some of the suburbs, the taxes, and I've lived there, and I can speak from experience, the property taxes are very high.
Okay.
But if you have a business there, at least you're not paying New York City surcharge, which is like 8.8%.
Oh.
Plus the state, which is 8.8%, plus federal, which is 21%, plus workers' comp and general liability and disability and payroll tax, and now you're over 50%.
Jesus.
My office is in Manhattan. I'm on 26th Street. I start out on 34th Street by Union Square, by Herald Square, across the street from Macy's, and now we're on 26th by FIT. So if you're running a business, Manhattan is the most expensive place. But if you live in a small house, like a 1 to 2, 3 bedroom house in some areas of Westchester County, you'll pay decent taxes, but not extraordinary. Taxes are lower in the city for single family homes, which have gone up a lot now too. You've got your water increase in New York City. You've got your utility bills have skyrocketed. We're paying the most for Con Edison in the country, for electricity, for gas, if you even can get gas anymore. So our utility costs are up. Our taxes are crazy. We have some of the worst taxes in the country. We don't want to compare ourselves to California because they stuck with taxes even worse than us.
Right.
But when you add all the supplemental taxes I just said, you're even higher than they are at some points.
So what are the benefits of a Diamant party versus an AOC party?
Imagine I had my own party. That'd be pretty cool. I think her party sucks. It's nothing personal. I don't know the congresswoman. I don't have nothing personal with her. I wish her the best of luck in life. I just think that my politics and her politics are totally different. Mine are genuine, and I can sell them on my own. Hers, she's a mouthpiece for the DSA, and she's a mouthpiece for
What is
movement.
the DSA?
The Democrat Socialist of America.
So let's stop right there.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
What is a Democratic Socialist of America? And Is it the party of Bernie Williams? Bernie Sanders.
You know, I don't know how to explain what a DSA, what a Democrat Social of America is.
Are they communists?
I guess so. I mean, look at that. I guess so. I don't. Here's my point. And this is a great question that you're talking about, because this is basically the core of what's happening right now politically. You've got the right wing and the left wing, and they've taken all the air out the room. Everybody seems to be either DSA or MAGA, and everybody in between gets left out of the argument. I don't know what this excitement with the DSA really is about, but they're upset. And when people are upset, they tend to be aggressive on one side or the other. So they're either going to be very MAGA or they're going to be very DSA right now, because the Democratic Party, the true Democrats got their tail tucked between their legs. They're afraid to even talk because of losing primaries. You saw with Espaillat in Washington Heights. He got primaried by a no-name candidate, doesn't even have a personal profile unless she went to school for 15 years or something. And she beat him in the primary, and he was the first Dominican elected to Congress, and he thought he had a vice grip hold of the community, and
he lost without her even trying.
He lost, and it's crazy because he had, besides the mayor's support that she had and a few candidates, he had the weight of the establishment behind him.
Correct.
He's connected in D.C.
What is an establishment?
Establishment.
I'm tired of hearing this like it's a hidden government.
No, it's actually the open government, the government we see. So the establishment here is state assembly, state senate, the governor, the mayor. This is the establishment.
Okay.
These are the people that make the laws and make
Guys,
the rules.
I'm only saying that so you can learn, all right? Oh, wait, Edgar, hi, as a voter, and thank you for your background. What policies are you or your visions are you trying to get as ideal or facts you're letting voters know that the other party is not doing?
Yeah, first and foremost, so in Congress, I just want to be clear, because not all the viewers may be aware of what a congressperson does. And in Congress, like I don't control the city streets, the schools, the local infrastructure, your local taxes. I don't really have a say in that. But what Congress is a representative that every constituent in the district has in Washington, D.C. We pass legislation that's supposed to better the lives of everyone in the district and around the country.
Quality of life.
Quality of life issues and laws that benefit families and working families.
That's the idea.
That's the idea. Well, when we had a revolutionary war in this country with England, we had it over a 1% tax on tea, taxation without representation. The king from England was telling us what to do here, and we had no representative. The establishment was in London and England, and we didn't have one here. So we had that Revolutionary War, and that's when Congress was formed.
Okay.
So each area has their own representative. So New York 14, and they changed the map around, is
rezoning.
They call it redistricting.
Redistricting, right.
And they change it however they want to cook the field up. So I don't get to choose that. This is where I started. This is the community that needs help. I want to do it. Also, congressional members, they bring federal funding to the district. And I'll give you an example. The congresswoman, in the last 7.5 years to this district, she bought, as per her, and you can fact check this, but she had a commercial with the Attorney General Letitia James, and she said in her tenure, which is 7.5 years, she's brought $49 million to the district. It sounds like a lot, but it's not, because it's 700,000+ people divided by 7.5 years is like $5 a head that was invested to each person in their life.
What?
Worse than that. So there's $49 million that she appropriated federally to this district. But her campaign funds, she's been in Congress for 7.5 years. She's raised to date, and the new numbers haven't come out for September, $83 million for herself. One person, $83 million. You can go on fecfiling.com, fec.gov rather, and you can check the filings of any congressional member, including myself. So I've raised around $380,000. Most of my campaign is self-funded. And we have pennies on the dollar compared to her war chest. She's got 15+ million cash on hand to go to war with me. 83 million over 7.5 years. 32 million just this cycle she raised so far. And she's been to 20 different states for the last 6 months campaigning for other DSA candidates to win. We don't elect Congress members to go traveling around the country to figure out what Missouri needs, what Minnesota needs, what South Carolina needs, what Texas needs. They got their own representative. We need our representatives to stay here and to fight for us here. And she's now polling first, second, third to be the next president of the United States.
I was about to ask you.
And what does that tell you? That tells you she's breaking up with the district. She just broke up with her man. Now she's about to break up with us.
So that's true.
Oh, she's definitely going to be running for higher
No.
office.
That was true that they're separated and she froze her eggs and all. And she denied that she wanted to speak about her life publicly. So is that confirmed that was the issue?
Well, I don't know if, I know she's been documenting freezing her eggs. It's her choice. It's her body. She does what she wants. I can tell you, as far as her relationship, I don't know her and her boyfriend or her fiance. I don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
If they were together, you'd probably see them together. I've never seen them together. There's a lot of talk about what she's been doing lately, and it's interesting that now's the time she's choosing to do it because her previous opponents were very, very MAGA-like candidates. You know, one of them I ran a primary against raised almost $4 million in the last 2 cycles, and she withdrew from the process and decided not to run against me because it was clear as day that we were going to win the primary. I'm not bringing the same talking points as most politicians do. I'm talking completely from a different field. And Trump is a very big whale to compare to, and all these politics. I don't really have anything in common with any of them. You know, I'm a guy who came from Europe. I came to the South Bronx. I lived a very interesting life, and now I'm running for office against the most popular Democrat in the country. And the way she's broken up with her boyfriend, according to what the papers are saying, I don't know if it's true or not, is the way she's breaking up with this district because she's never here anyway. I came to the Puerto Rican Day Parade in the Bronx, which is in the district. I've been to how many events you guys have held and across this last 17 months. She has never been to one of them. You can testify to that.
Even the fish parade in Hunts Point.
We went to the fish parade in Hunts Point, which is a beautiful program for those kids. She's not there. Where is she? She's in Alabama, in Missouri, talking about the North got to pull up on the South, talking this crazy talk. She's not about that life. She grew up in Yorktown Heights. She left Bronx at 4 years old. Now, I left when I was a teenager and went to the south side of Yonkers, but that's not Yorktown Heights. South side of Yonkers, Carroll Avenue, of Saratoga, and these neighborhoods, that's not Yorktown Heights. And that's not a knock that she lived there because other Congress members moved to districts where they don't live. Like, I'll give you an example. Representative Richie Torres. He was born in Throgs Neck housing, and now he's a representative on the other side of the Bronx. He wasn't born or raised on the other side of the Bronx. He was raised in Throgs Neck housing. So they can shift around. So I'm not knocking her for living in Yorktown Heights. What I'm knocking her for is to bring that tough language to the table because she had a bulletproof glass around her and she was trying to, get people excited. And divisive politics is not my thing. If the right does it, they're wrong. If the left does it, they're wrong. And if she does it, she's definitely wrong because she's never around these neighborhoods. We don't look to a congressperson and say, that's a tough guy right there. And definitely not her.
So you were on a debater?
Oh, man. We've been asking for that debate for quite some time. We're going to try again. We're going to even drive to D.C. again to visit her at her office, which I went to on a Friday afternoon. It was closed. Her office here in the district, which only opens during the campaign season, is closed most of the week. She's never debated a Republican in her life. In the 8 years she's in Congress, she's never debated a Republican opponent. The last time she debated a Democrat was in 2020 primary. So I don't know how you could hold the belt, if you will, to use a boxing terminology. You can't be the heavyweight champ if you don't defend your title.
It's true.
You can't hold it hostage, and because you have all that money, and she is the establishment, by no doubt about it, she's the leader of the Democratic Party. She can add a D and an S in front of it and an A. Doesn't make a difference. She's registered Democrat. She runs in that party line, and she's hiding because I don't think she would do too well with me in a debate. I really don't. I'll give you an example why. Every single campaign promise she ran on in 2018, she hasn't accomplished one campaign promise yet. Not one. She hasn't passed a single piece of legislation, which is what a congressperson does. Okay, that's hard. She says it's hard because her name's on it. They don't want to pass it. That means she's not good at negotiating either. She only brought $49 million to the district. I can reference you other Congress members like Congressman Mike Lawler, who's in District 17. He's brought in way more money in half the time that she's been in office to his district. And we need it more than Rockland County needs it. The Bronx needs the money more.
Right.
But our congresswoman is too busy poking the president in the eye, making a lot of fuss and noise, lives on Instagram. You know, she went to Puerto Rico. I was just in Puerto Rico. I was in Puerto Rico with my kids, and I took a few days off after we won the primary. And I paid for that trip myself. She went to Puerto Rico, spent $50,000, went to a Bad Bunny concert. $50,000 for a 3-day trip. Funded by the taxpayers on that donation she gets. And she still sends emails to this day asking for $2, for $3, and saying, I'm running against a MAGA Republican on the November election. I'm not no MAGA Republican. I don't even consider...
You don't like MAGA?
No, I'm fine with MAGA. I'm fine with all Americans.
Right.
But you can't pigeonhole me like that.
But are you a part of MAGA?
No, I'm not a part of MAGA because I'm not endorsed by the president.
Okay.
I ran against a MAGA candidate.
Okay.
I beat the MAGA candidate.
Okay.
I'm American.
So then what kind of Republican are you? Because I know there's a specific party. It's called the Rat Party. It's Republicans against Trump. Now, I heard there's different sets of Democrats. Are there different sets of Republicans?
Yeah, I'd say I'm an independent Democratic Republican. You know what the first party in America was? So I just added the independent just to be funny, but the first party we had here was called the Democratic Republican Party. That's historically what the American Party was here.
Right.
So when I say I'm a Democratic Republican, it's kind of true. And when I tell you an independent Democratic Republican, it's kind of true because I can work with both parties. I can work across party lines. I'm not an extremist in any sense of the word. What I am extreme about is my love for this country and my love to help people that are in need. Because I used to be one of those people.
Right.
But that's I don't really have any identity that goes with any party politics. Right. So if they had their own private club, I'm not going to be invited.
Okay.
They got a $400 million war chest they're talking about, the Republican Party. I haven't gotten a penny of it.
Okay.
I've got no PAC money. No PACs have funded my campaign. Zero. No special interest. No big corporations or money. It's guys like you who show me love on the street. It's people I'm walking around the neighborhood. I walk up to people, hello, my name is Diamant. And 99% they don't even ask me for my party because they know I'm running against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, so they just assume. And then a few will ask me and they'll have a beef with the president or a beef with her. We get a lot of people in addition to have a beef with her, but people have to go out and vote.
Right.
A lot of the numbers, the Democratic primary just finished in June in New York 14th Congressional District. 4% of 700,000+ people went out. So around 34,000 people voted. That's it. And then whoever wins that, unless they have, this is probably one of the first times I'm an anomaly because I'm doing this, is there's an actual real candidate on the other side. I'm not doing this as a vanity campaign. I didn't have social media before this campaign. I minded my business. I got along with everybody. I got along with Democrats. I got along with Republicans. I got along with independents. I never asked them what they were. Once I put myself in the political light and they found out, oh, this guy's registered now as a Republican, oh, everybody got crazy or they got excited. So it's
let's go to the chat right quick.
Asking.
You got Lourdes hit me up from Florida. She say, hi, brother. You got Claire Singer who says, thanks for the questions, Jose, to broaden the understanding of the terminology of words used in our governmental system. Of course. And Francis is there saying,
Tell us, Francis. Tell us something else. Hello to everybody else. Hello, Florida. I'm fighting so I don't have to go to Florida.
And also people are tuned in from Puerto Rico right now as well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So let everybody know on your closing statements why they should vote for Diamant and what can Diamant promise.
Everybody comes to these political events and they're all promising how they're going to win and what they're going to do. I promise to be genuine in myself, to represent everyone in the district. Right now, we have a representative that only represents her base. Mm-hmm. If you're part of her group and her gang, she'll help you out. Otherwise, the door's closed. I have an open door policy. I don't care how you pray. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what kind of politics you're into. I don't care what neighborhood you live in, whether you're in Castle Hill, Soundview, or you're in Astoria or East Elmhurst. My office is going to be open to you. I am one hell of a negotiator. I will bring in what the congresswoman's bought in 8 years in my first term. Or if I don't, it's a 2-year job. This is an interview. Fire me after 2 years if I don't bring what she's bought in 8 years in the first 2 years, because I know how to negotiate. I can work across both sides of the aisle, which means I can work with Republicans, I can work with Democrats. These are the two teams that control the United States government. And I can also work with our elected officials here. I don't have a hate towards anybody, not even her. I'm just giving her a job rating, and she's scoring very low based on my parameters. So I think as a congressperson, she sucks, and as a social media star, she's great. So if she wants to compete with Kim Kardashian, she's on her way. But to represent us in the halls of Congress, horrible record so far. The guy with the did he give us a new comment?
So let everybody know where they could contact you if they wanted to get more information on how they could join the party of Diamant, or even get more information and to look more into your interests and see what is it that makes you different from everyone else. Because not only, and I didn't even get to touch on this, but your religious background as a Republican is?
I'm Muslim. I'm in a mixed faith household. My wife's Catholic. I'm Muslim, which is actually very interesting, because you walk into some of these Republican rooms and I don't look at,
right.
And some of the things you hear are, let's just say, not so nice.
Exactly, because they expect you to be either Protestant, Baptist, or something. And then when they hear your wife is Catholic and you're Muslim, they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So that,
and I'm white.
Okay, and you're white.
And I'm from the hood.
And yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make sense. They can't pigeonhole me.
So that's why I say when people meet you, it's different. This guy is different. He's white. He's from the hood. He's Muslim.
He's Hispanic. And he speaks Spanish.
And he speaks Spanish. This guy's a Republican of the Lincoln Party, I would say.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, there are different parties. There's a party of JFK. There's a party of Lincoln. And these are people that have made deep impacts in history. And I could tell your passion, and being from the poorest congressional district and the entire state, as well as the poorest congressional continent on the continental United States, which is the Bronx. You know, people don't even understand that we're the only part that's over land, not water. So every other borough is over water. They're messed up. But if we go to war, we all right. We got the connection to go right up to Middletown, New York, all the way to to Canada.
Start with Yonkers.
Exactly. and you know, it's people like you that are different and rare. And we should you know, probably look into having some new way to have our perspectives, because, you know, like you say, you get tired of eating the same type of food every day and you don't see any benefits, only getting diabetes and end up with high cholesterol. Maybe you could come through with some fasting exercises and teach us a new way to have an outlook on life and how to work with spending and finances and exercises and family and morality, because a lot of that stuff is out the window because we have some individuals that just go onto social media.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for having me and the opportunity to speak. I'd love to continue our conversation. I think that when I first came here, you know, growing up in the hood, I met some of the nicest people in the world. Biggest hearts, nicest people. I remember 91, real quickly, I'll tell you, we got a knock on the door, like, boom, boom, boom. And I got nervous because it was back then, it wasn't ICE, it was immigration.
Right.
And we didn't have our papers yet. But it was my neighbor from upstairs. It was a mixed race couple. They were black, Dominican, and Puerto Rican, mixed family. And she had Christmas presents wrapped up. Now, I'd never gotten a Christmas present in my life before. And we didn't have any toys. And I got a Batman card. And you remember the Batman back in the day that had the belt that you could pull out and you could zip right to you? It was the best gift I ever got. And it left such an impression on me. And these were people that didn't know us. But the fact that they went out of their way, purchased these gifts for me and my sister. She got some kind of doll. I think she got the Ken and Barbie doll with the horse that you ride. And I got this. So some of the nicest people I met that belonged close to us put food on the table. And it's the first time I went to a Dominican's house. And I thought it was like, I said, all this food, I was expecting like 50 people. And there was like 4 people. Right. And they had big, generous hearts. And they were working really hard to make it happen. So to learn about me and my campaign, you just visit votefordiamant.com, which is VOTEFORDIAMANT, votefordiamant.com.
And also, we have your Facebook, Diamant.
HYSENAJ.
Right, your first and last name. And is it like that for your Instagram as well?
Yeah, it just has an underscore. Somebody actually has his odd name somewhere else. I don't know how.
Yes, and also on X.
The same thing, yep.
And then you're also located on 3707 East Tremont Avenue.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you want to further your conversations, please feel free. Contact the great representative of the Republican Party in the Bronx in the Throsneck and Queens section. Check him out.
And South Bronx.
That's right, South Bronx. New York 14. Next stop, general election, Diamant. That's right, for U.S. Congress. If you don't vote for him and you just go for the same type of flavor that you've been having, then you might miss out. Mario, any last words for the great representative?
He's doing great. Exactly what we do in this program. Bring people to work with the community. The community is the most important part in this program. And he's doing that right now. Oh, right. He speaks Spanish. Tremendo
That's
trabajo.
right.
Tremendo trabajo. Estás haciendo tremendo trabajo.
That's right. I want to say shout out to Elizabeth, who checked in from Kissimmee, Florida. Thank you as well. And, please check out my friend. He's got a great construction business that's been very successful. Not only is he a representative, he could also educate you on financial growth and where to put your money. I mean, you heard what he said. His uncle came here, slept on park benches, brought his father over. Then his father brought him over, and they brought the rest of the family over. And look, this is a true American story. This is what the American dream is all about. And the fact that he himself is an immigrant that came here and became successful shows you where he lies with that, okay, with that issue. So he's going to tell you right off the back, I can't talk because I am a rising star, and I continue to rise. So I want to say thank you for keeping it real, for coming here today and representing in this district, which is the district you're looking to obtain and to represent. And, if you do end up in Washington, don't forget us.
Absolutely. And I'll always be accessible. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
An honor.
And peace be with you, my brother.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother. Thank you.
And, keep up the great work. And I love the fact that wherever you go in the hood, I introduce you to people, they're so genuine when they see you. Because you have a great heart. You have a good spirit about yourself.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, right before we log off, and I give it to Mario, we have an event coming on Saturday. That's right. Felons Unchained, they got that event going on again. Where is the Love event? Where's a block party, a festival of vendors located on 117th Street between Pleasant Ave and First Avenue. Pleasant and First. It's Joey, it's Anthony Soto, and these guys here. It's the 841 or 851 event. And it's talking about how they immigrants are the best Americans. Thank you, Edgar, for that.
Agreed.
And, shout out to Joey, shout out to Felons Unchained. Be sure to come out to 117th Street between Pleasant and First this Saturday, 8:29. They're going to have artists. They're going to have vendors. They're going to have many people there. I told Terrence Derrick to pull up, bring a table, and to showcase the information for Galaxy Swimming. Everyone is invited. It's all about love on that day and sharing prosperity. The next time we're here, we got some other special guests that are coming, and be tuned for what's soon to come next year on Jose Rivera Day. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we got some new things coming up, and I'm most likely going to have my boy Diamant be a part of it as well, since we met at a parade, and it's going to be a big surprise for 2027. That's right. So please be sure to log on each and every Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. We want to say thank you to Al for allowing us to extend today, because we had two great guests, and we had some real topics that were real life. And Terrence, Derrick, thank you so much. Thank you to my boy, the one and only representative that wherever he goes, he shines. And he was so cool at karaoke night. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was pretty dope. He was there chilling with his wife, right? He was there with your family and all.
No, I came with my team.
Yeah, team. You guys all look good. And shout out to your campaign team, and shout out to Bubba, our good friend Bubba. And everybody that's supporting our good friend Diamant here. So be sure to check us out each and every other Monday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on iAXIS Radio, Extremities ENT. Mr. You already know on IG, Extremities ENT on IG, Marito Chiclana on IG, and iAXIS Radio 1 on IG, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. Just follow us because you know what it is. If I learned something more today than I did yesterday, it wasn't a day wasted in life. Peace. Mary, I love you, mi santo. Take it over and good night.
Love you too, baby. Here we go.
Oye, sí, dedicado para todo aquel que tiene fe. Jorgito, amar la del edificio conmigo a soñado. Y este año lograré lo que tanto anhelando. Solo tengo que buscar pegarse de caracoles con una pucha de flor y llevársela al mar. Me miró y me dijo que tuviera fe, que todos mis problemas se los dejaré leguar. Y además que confiar en su llamada, es la dueña del mundo y con su agua mi camino va a limpiar.
Lleva allá, conmigo lleva allá. Límpiame el camino y bendíceme los que estamos. Agua para aquí, agua para allá.
Señores, le estoy cantando a la señora de Maya.
Agua para allá.
Para que limpie con su agua toda la humanidad.
Agua para aquí, agua para allá.
Agua es lo que mi Cuba necesita.
Agua para aquí, agua para allá.
Para que cuide mucho a mi bebita. Oye, sí. Vamos a yupar el hito revés.
Bueno, mano para arriba todo el mundo pidiendo salud y mucho H. Por eso, Omi Tuto, Ana Tuto, Ile Tuto, Tuto la Roye, Tuto la Gococo, H Babá, H Yeye, H Guantoluki Fa, H Bobo Eco, agua pa' mayeya, agua, Oroco, agua pa' mayeya, agua, ¡wea!
Ya mañana te estoy cantando con sentimiento y corazón. Bendice a mi carangón para seguir changuiciando. La meta me está llamando con los tambores bacán. Que me llama yo conmigo. Oye, Maya. Sí. A la roye. A la roye. Pregunta a la Tamara, y a Maya o Bude. Pregunto qué es lo que tú necesitas. Repito que es lo que tú necesitas. Para la señora y para la señorita. Para la flaquita y para la gordita. Pregunto qué necesitas. Repito, pregunto qué necesitas. Con la mano para arriba, la Habana completa, vamos. Sí, sí.
Agua, a ver, con que yo te. Agua, vale, con muñeco, agua,
Arremar, 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 arremar. La villa de regla nos va a acompañar. Repito otra vez, arremar, 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 arremar. La villa de regla nos va a acompañar. Entonces dime, pregunto qué necesita. Cantando conmigo, pregunto qué necesita. Con la mano para arriba y cantando ese coro. Cuba, la gente Italia, Francia. Ay. A la noche. Pregúntaselo a Lito. Ocundere arereo.
Amatito Cabaña, visita. Enriquito Hernández. Sigue pelado.
Pregunto qué es lo que tú necesitas. Para la flaquita y para la gordita. Para la señora y la señorita. Pregunto qué es lo que tú necesitas. Vamos. Pregunto qué necesitas. Ay. Pregunto qué necesitas.
Buenas noches, mi gente. Nos vemos en la próxima. X-Tremitiez, IAXISRADIO. Nos fuimos. Take it over.